If you're a Canadian living abroad or you were born abroad to a Canadian parent, this could be the biggest citizenship change in a generation. Ottawa has tabled Bill C-3 to remove the first-generation limit and potentially restore citizenship automatically to thousands of lost Canadians. There's a catch. A new substantial connection test is introduced, specifically requiring that a total of 1,095 days of physical presence in Canada must be established and proven by the Canadian parent before a child's birth or adoption. Today I'll explain exactly what that means, who qualifies, how retroactivity works, what to do right now, and the real timelines you should expect. What changed and why now? Background. Since 2009, Canadian citizenship by descent was limited to the first generation born abroad. If you were a Canadian born outside Canada and your kids were also born outside Canada, we are talking about the third and all subsequent generations in this case, your children would not obtain Canadian citizenship automatically. That created the well-known category of lost Canadians. However, in 2023, a Canadian court found the one-generation limit can be considered as unconstitutional and suspended its ruling to allow Parliament to legislate. Bill C-3 is the government's fix. Bill C-3 was introduced in June 2025, and this bill would remove the first-generation limit, provide automatic remediation for past cases harmed by old rules, and set a new forward-looking framework requiring a parent's substantial connection. Specifically, 1,095 days physically in Canada before the child's birth or adoption. Below are the two big pillars of Bill C-3. 1. Retroactive fixes. Automatic remediation. If passed, Bill C-3 would automatically recognize as citizens people who would already have been citizens but for the former rules. Practically, many lost Canadians could be citizens without reapplying under discretionary programs. You will still need to prove identity and lineage with documents. See the action checklist below. 2. A new framework for future kids born abroad. Citizenship by descent can pass beyond the first generation if the Canadian parent was born abroad and can prove 1,095 cumulative days, 3 years, of physical presence in Canada before the child's birth or adoption. This is the substantial connection test. It's cumulative, not necessarily continuous. What counts as 1,095 days? Cumulative days physically in Canada before the child's birth or adoption. It doesn't have to be continuous, it just has to add up to 3 years. Expect official guidance to list acceptable evidence, entry/exit records, leases, tax filings, employer letters, school records. If you're near the threshold, documentation quality will decide your case. Start organizing now. Who benefits? I would like to show it in 5 examples. 1. Canadian born in Canada, child born abroad. You could already pass citizenship automatically. Bill C-3 mostly matters for others. 2. Canadian born abroad to Canadian parents living overseas, child born overseas. Pre-C-3, the child likely was not a citizen automatically. Under C-3, if passed, if the parent has 1,095 pre-birth days in Canada, the child qualifies by descent. 3. Lost Canadian previously refused or denied proof due to the limit. Under C-3, many will be automatically recognized once the law is in force. You would then apply for proof of citizenship to document it. 4. Adopted children abroad. The framework is intended to include adoption. Watch final wording and guidance, but adoption pathways are addressed. 5. Edge cases and fairness debates. There will be debate over how the substantial connection test applies and transitional timelines. Expect refinements during committee review. Status today. Bill C-3 is still a bill, not yet law. Until it passes Parliament, receives royal assent, and comes into force, the current rules technically remain, subject to a suspended court declaration that expires in late 2025. That's why it's crucial to plan now, but act when the new rules are in force. What you should do now: A. If you're likely covered by the retroactive fix, automatic remediation, Organize proof of your parents' or grandparents' citizenship status and your own identity birth records. Prepare to file for proof of citizenship once the in-force date and instructions are published. B. If you're planning to have a child abroad or already have one, count your days in Canada before the birth adoption. If you're below 1,095, understand alternatives, e.g. sponsorship to PR. Keep travel history and residency records tidy, tax slips, leases, utility bills, school and employment letters. C. If you're an adoptee or adoptive parent, track adoption documents and the parent's presence days. Watch for official guidance on proof standards. D. Monitor timing. Follow parliamentary progress and official implementation instructions. Myths versus facts. Myth. This gives automatic citizenship to anyone with a Canadian ancestor. Fact. No. For future cases, you need a parent who is a citizen and has 1,095 pre-birth days in Canada. For past cases, automatic recognition targets those who would already have been citizens but for old rules. Myth. Any time in Canada counts, even a few vacations. Fact. It's about real physical presence, and you'll need evidence. Myth. It's already in force. Fact. It's a proposal moving through Parliament. The current framework remains until C-3 is enacted. Myth. Everyone supports the 1,095-day rule. Fact. There's debate. Committees may refine details during review, likely timeline and what to watch. Parliamentary stages, committee hearings, amendments, Senate review, royal assent plus coming into force. Implementation could be staged, with forms and proof standards released. Guidance. Expect program delivery instructions detailing eligibility, documents, and how automatic recognition interacts with proof of citizenship applications. Summary, I would like to mention that Bill C-3 could be life-changing for families who've lived in limbo, ending the first-generation cutoff, restoring status to lost Canadians, and creating a clear 1,095-day path for future children born abroad. If this was helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with your situation. Were you or your kids affected by the one-generation limit? Your stories help others. For tailored guidance, contact our team. We handle complex citizenship and proof cases worldwide.